Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, July 12, 2018. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Reckless driving will not be tolerated on the roads of SVG. Inspector Henry Providence gave this warning as he spoke with SVG-TV News today on actions being taken by the police to protect the safety of the public. And it comes in the wake of the circulation of a video on social media this week involving two minibuses. The drivers have been charged and their licenses suspended by the police, pending the outcome of their court case. Inspector Providence said the police take the safety of road users seriously and will prosecute those who ignore the law.
We saw on social media a video that was surfaced in respect of two minibus operators traveling along, I think, the Richland Park, Bisham Road, somewhere along in that area on Thursday of last week. The video surfaced sometime this week, and as a result of that video, the traffic department of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines conducted some investigations into the matter. The minibus and the operators were identified, they were taken into custody, and they have subsequently been charged for reckless driving. In addition to them being charged for reckless driving, they have their license has also been suspended temporarily by the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner has the authority where he could suspend a driver's license pending the outcome of the charge. So their license has been suspended. Those two drivers, I don't think it is an opportune time for me to identify who they are, but I just want the general public to know and to give them the assurance that the traffic department has taken a necessary step to ensure that this sort of behavior does not continue on the roads of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The inspector disagrees with those who consider the suspensions harsh, noting that such action is necessary at this time.
Those two operators, presently, you will not be seeing them on the road for a while. And some persons might think it is very drastic and harsh, but the message must go out to the operators of these buses that these sort of behaviors would not be tolerated on the road of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have seen too much of it, and there comes a time when you need to take drastic measures. And I think in this case, drastic measures was necessary, hence the reason that these two omnibus operators' license was suspended. I know the matter is still before the court, so I don't really want to say too much on it, but just to let the general public know that something has been done in regards to these operators.
The veteran traffic cop highlighted the penalties which apply to a guilty charge of reckless driving.
Reckless driving, a person's license can be suspended. They can be charged in the court of law up to $2,500, and as I said, the license can be suspended now or disqualified. They can be disqualified from driving by the court for a period of 12 months or more in some cases. So $2,500 is a lot of money. I know these are difficult times, so persons who are hearing me and omnibus operators who know they are culprit as well for not adhering to the rules of the road and driving in such a manner, to desist from doing so, because once you're caught, once it is brought to the attention of this department, you can be certain that something will be done. And once evidence is there that you were reckless or you were dangerous, we are going to do the necessary action to ensure that this behavior does not continue.
Meanwhile, Inspector Providence said the police is delighted to work along with the Ministry of Education and omnibus operators in creating a safe environment for the nation's children. The police is teaming up with the ministry and minibus operators on Sunday at the Thomas Saunders Secondary School for a workshop which will focus on road safety, positive behavior management, and responsible bus operation skills. Inspector Providence said, while the police is doing its part in maintaining road safety, other organizations can help, and he is hopeful that the workshop can lead to a positive change in the attitude of minibus operators.
Again, we will be hosting not a minibus operators day per se, but a workshop which will be held on the 12th of August and this Sunday coming at the Thomas Saunders Secondary School. And the police and the traffic department played an integral part last year in respect of the minibus operators day, and we are happy again to this year again forge with the Ministry of Education again to really put information out there to the minibus operators, and to hope by this workshop on Sunday that we can see that road safety be instilled in their minds, and you see a better result from the minibus operators, because we are specifically targeting minibus operators this year again in respect of road safety. We would also hope that coming out of this workshop, we'll see positive behavior management and also responsible bus operators. And we know that a number of these operators are not owners of these buses, but we still need to instill in the mind that they have to play an integral part in road safety in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The inspectors encouraged minibus operators to see themselves as nation builders.
That they transport a number of persons on a daily basis, and again, the minibus operators needs to know that they play a very important part in nation building. And if you could just imagine no minibus operators on a particular day during the week, what chaos it can happen as a result of that. Persons need to get to work, persons need to get to school. So the minibus operators themselves needs to understand that they play a very, very important role in nation building. That is why we at the Traffic Department is very happy to be on board with the Ministry of Education.
Inspector Providence considers the workshop to be timely as school will soon reopen after the summer break.
The workshop, as I said, will be held on Sunday, and we have someone from the Traffic Department as well who will be doing a presentation on that day. And there will be several officers as well from this department who will be attending the workshop, just to ensure that the police presence is felt and you know, just give the encouragement that is needed. And I'm really looking forward to see a number of minibus operators coming out to this workshop because it is important for them. And we know schools is just around the corner to be open soon, and it is important that we instill in their minds the need for road safety. We recognize, yes, what is happening in regards to the minibus operators. We recognize that there's some level of recklessness that is taking place presently on our roads, and we want to, you know, give them the information and so that they can change that behavior for the balance of this year as well.
9 projects have been rolled out in various parts of the country under the UNDP Japan Caribbean Climate Change Funded project. The beneficiaries are primarily in the agriculture sector. Farmers in Langley Park, Fairhall, Barley and Kettles have started benefiting under the SVG component of the project to the tune of $191,000. According to the local focal point coordinator for the Japan Caribbean Climate Change Partnership, Ruth Vin Harper, difficult farming conditions were taken into consideration in determining the project location. As such, irrigation and rehabilitation to roads have commenced.
One of them, we have just rehabilitated the intake and the river crossing for the irrigation scheme at Langley Park, which is make up water available to approximately 100 farmers in that area. We'll be doing some demonstration plots on there for 15 farmers where we'll be giving them irrigation lines, everything basically for us to show to the other farmers what it is like to produce under the irrigation system. We have done 2 sets of footpaths in areas that they didn't have footpaths. To go along was a bit treacherous. There was water damage, and even the water runoff water would have caused a lot of slip and slide. So we have done that in Fairhall, where we have done approximately 450 feet of concrete paths in Fairhall.
In the meantime, work has begun on the installation of 3 greenhouses at 3 secondary schools under another project called Support to Schools Cooperatives. This project is to the tune of $72,000. The schools identified are Adelphi, George Stevens, and Central Leeward Secondary Schools. According to Harper, the students will be exposed to good agriculture practices from an early age.
We are providing the schools with complete greenhouses, water tanks, solar panels, and pumps, seedlings, inputs, everything, and training.
The Ministry of Agriculture has 2 experienced local farmers assisting with the project. They were trained in Japan. The funded projects, which are being implemented simultaneously, should be completed by early next year.
One of the major components of this project, or the criteria, is that all of our pilot projects must be sustainable and transferable. It's not that we're going to give you something and that's it. The idea when the project is submitted, you must be able to see, well, once the funding finish, what next? You must be able to try and continue. That is why, for example, in terms of the seeds that we are proposing to use, the farm must be able to harvest the fruits and utilize these set of same seeds for him to set and get new plants.
As the government prepares to take its proposed medical marijuana bill to Parliament later this month, the public is being asked to make its input by way of two planned consultations. Community consultations are scheduled for Tuesday, August 14th at the Diamond Government School and on Thursday, August 16th at the Chumaka Government School, each beginning at 6 p.m. A release from the Ministry of Agriculture states that the consultations are intended to educate and obtain feedback on the three draft bills. These are the Medicinal Cannabis Industry Bill, the Cannabis Cultivation Amnesty Bill, and the Permitted Use of Cannabis for Religious Purposes Bill. Dr. Gerald Thompson, who has responsibility for special projects in the Office of the Prime Minister, and a representative from the Office of the Attorney General will comprise the panel. At his most recent news conference last month, Prime Minister Dr. Rahul Gonsalves said that the draft legislation to facilitate the establishment of a medicinal marijuana industry in SVG would soon be taken to Parliament. This will be done on Monday, August 20th. The Sahara dust phenomenon continues to pose problems not just for the physical environment, but the health of individuals. In part 2 of this series, SVG-TV's Bhavin Oliver speaks with Dr. Jose Davy, an infectious disease specialist, on the health implications with respect to the Sahara dust. We get more in this report.
Respiratory problems such as bronchitis and pneumonia are associated with the presence of dust in the atmosphere, and Dr. Davies said the ever-present Saharan dust, which is prevalent between June and December, also has a negative impact on the health of persons with respiratory problems. Dr. Davy, who is also a registrar at the Ministry of Health, said there has been a lot more asthma attacks and hospital admissions for respiratory conditions during this period. She said the Saharan dust bring with it bacteria which are associated with respiratory infections.
So the problem is not so much the dust alone, but the dust carries with it spores. Spores are basically, if we think of seeds and plants, spores are the seeds of the bacteria. So it's carrying around bacteria and it's carrying around fungi, fungus yeast. So when that dust comes, it brings all of that with it, and those agents or germs are capable of infecting the lung and causing infections, bronchitis, bronchopneumonia.
So it goes in and it's
yes. But in the case of the asthmatic, the dust on its own can provoke the respiratory airway, causing asthmatic attacks.
Dr. Davy explained how persons can protect their health and the health of their children.
Firstly, if they look outside and they see that it's very hazy, the day is very hazy, don't think it's only that rain is going to come, but it's probably the dust. So when it's very hazy, they should try and stay indoors. Should you have to go outside, you can probably wear a mask. A dust mask or a surgical mask would work. And once you're inside, you keep your windows closed. You change your bed linens very often because the dust somehow enters. So you change your linen so that it's not accumulated on your linen. That's another way of doing that. If they have to take the child outside, you can use a mask on the child as well. Or you can have maybe like a wet rag or wet handkerchief that you can use to wipe the nose, the nasal area frequently. That may help as well.
The infectious disease specialist said the dust can create eye irritations and allergic reactions and gave some medical recommendations.
Dust would irritate the eyes and cause allergic reactions, so the person may have tearing of the eyes, as in water running from the eyes. They may also be sneezing a lot when that is happening too. That's how you know it's an allergy as opposed to maybe an infection. The eyes may get a little red as well.
Okay, they can take eye drops or wash the eyes?
Eye drops are washing the eyes, but we're not talking about antibiotic or antibacterial eye drops here. We're just talking about like the natural tears. Well, if you're having allergies because of this dust, there may be some antihistamines that you can take. I prefer that the person goes to the doctor to find out whether it's an allergy or actual infection, because you don't want to keep taking antihistamines and you actually have an infection that needs treating, because by the time you get to us, you might actually have pneumonia.
In yesterday's report, environmentalist Dr. Renal Murray explained that the Saharan dust originates from an area of Chad that was once a great lake which has dried up. For SVG-TV Evening News, I am Bhavin Oliver.
The Ministry of Education has released the preliminary results for the May-June Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Exams, CAPE. In a release, the ministry said 610 candidates entered for the exams, of which 554 were from the SVG Community College, who sat 1,864 examinations in 23 different subjects. The results show an overall pass rate of 91.04%, which represents a slight decrease from the previous year, where the pass rate was 91.74%. Several subject areas recorded 100% passes, they being art and design, which was sat for the first time, digital media units 1 and 2, environmental science unit 2, French units 1 and 2, geography unit 2, integrated maths unit 1, literatures in English units 1 and 2, physical education and sport unit 2, Spanish unit 2, and physics unit 2. The release of the results is important for candidates who need them for entry into university. Healthy minds, healthy lives, healthy environment. That's the theme under which the Taiwanese food tasting event was held today, organized as part of the STEM SVG Summer Camp 2018 program in collaboration with the Embassy of the Republic of China on Taiwan. The event saw participants within the upper age level of the program receiving a number of health and healthy eating tips, as well as healthy Taiwanese cuisine. Nikita Tony tells us more in this report.
It's a nurturing project designed to be fully integrated and to make learning practical and hands-on. The annual STEM SVG Summer Program continues to be of benefit to participants. As part of their 2018 program, participants in the secondary category aged 12 to 16 years were today given a treat where they were exposed to not only cuisine from one of this nation's closest allies, Taiwan, but also learned how to check and control their body mass index and how to ensure that they have a balanced meal and diet. Director of STEM SVG, Petrus Gums, thanked the Embassy of the Republic of China on Taiwan, along with its technical mission, for their willingness to partner with the program.
Today, with the partnership of the Republic of China, Taiwan, we are going to add another item to your diet. Changing a lifestyle can be difficult to relearn as you try to discipline yourself to change what you're accustomed to already be doing. With the advent of technology, such as the smartphone, the tablet, and the smart TVs, we see an increase in activity in a lot of our youths. Today, it's difficult to ask a teenager to get involved in a sport, much less do PE.
Gums encouraged the participants to take full advantage of the opportunity given to gain more information about how to live and stay healthy.
A lot more persons are walking on mornings, and I encourage you to do a little bit more walking as well. So a lot more persons are exercising, and this is now evident by the amount of fitness club opening. One of the popular persons might be familiar with is, I think I see a BeFit one, and there's a big movement. A lot of persons are dieting and increase their intake in water rather than soda. All these points are important for keeping ourselves as we grow from young adolescents to adult healthy, because we love you and we care for you, and we hope that you see that making an effort, a conscious effort to eat properly can help you in your future.
The participants were given a number of healthy tips from a representative of the Taiwan Capacity Building Project for the prevention and control of diabetes.
You are overweight, which means you are in a high risk for diabetes. And the other high risk is your habit, living habits, including eating habits and how many exercise you have.
A lot of us sometimes when we eat we don't use that amount of vegetables on our plate. So that's what the plate is showing you. It wants to encourage you to eat healthier. So the thing is, you're going to increase your fruits and vegetables. Where there's fruit, a lot of times we use a drink, but the drink does not necessarily have the quantity of fruit. And so when you're doing your plate, you can actually cut your fruits and put them on your plate. And where there's protein, what we call it here is food from animals. Okay?
Right.
And in that's where we have our chicken, our pork, our beef, or whatever. But he used the example of the pillow to show you sometimes we may not have all of these. And the grains would be where our peas, beans, and nuts are.
In the food tasting segment, the participants were given a full demonstration on how to make both meat and veggie Chinese dumplings, from the dough to the filling to cooking. The STEM SVG Summer Program, which is into its 5th year, aims to expose participants to varying technologies and learning experiences, and also helps the youth to see that they already possess knowledge which can be used to further develop themselves. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.